My man, Leo Fernandes, joining us here on the program. What's going on, my brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm so grateful that you took time out of your day to join us today. I was telling everybody yesterday I was going to sign off at about 1:45 yesterday, but I knew that the big announcement was coming out at 2 o'clock, so we stayed on just so we could talk about it, so I could show you some love. There's a lot of people that I've been working in the Bay Area now for 11, 12 years in the media side, and there's such a distinct gap between the media and the athletes, but there's certain guys that you kind of cross over and you become friends with. And I feel like me and you, we've established a pretty good bond and we've become pretty good friends. So I just wanted to say I'm grateful for how you've always treated me and just how you've treated everybody. Like I see how you treat all your teammates and all the fans. And man, to hear the announcement of your retirement yesterday, I got choked up, brother. I got choked up because I know how much this game means to you. So first off, thank you for our friendship and everything that you've done for our Tampa Bay area. But just take us through the thought process of making this decision, because I know you didn't make it alone. The boss, Emily, had to she had been on the convos too, wasn't she?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, first of all, no, thank you, right, for everything you've done for me and just covering the team. You are always a pleasure to talk to and work with. Um, but yeah, speaking with the boss, I think honestly the boss wants me to keep playing. But
He's like, get out of the house, stay out of the
yeah,
house. We're good here.
she wants me to keep playing, but I keep telling her, no, I think it's time. And obviously, I didn't go into this season thinking this was going to be my last year playing, but I think just the way that the whole year went down and me not really being able to stay on the field as much as I wanted to be, kind of just helped me make the right decision. And I think it's just time. Have had a great career from a kid that came out of Stony Brook, got drafted and played 13 years. So I think looking back at it's a celebration. And honestly, um, obviously there's highs and lows, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Was there one thing that happened this year? Or was it kind of a progression of like not being able to stay on, coming back, and then having to go and then train? Was it just kind of it building up to a certain thing, or was there one thing that happened where you're just like, all right, man, this is going to be it? Because when you put so much work just to, and I've had this conversation with others, athletes as well, and the sentiment was, Jay, when you have to work so hard just to get onto the field, it's just it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. I think, like you said, especially this year, starting the year off pretty healthy, being on the field, and then towards the summer can feel myself not feeling like myself and getting these little nagging injuries that were keeping me off the field. And I was just feeling like I was spending more time in the training room than on the
Right.
pitch. So
Mhm.
it kind of helped my decision a bit. And I've been working towards the future for a long time now since
Right.
I had my major injury. So I think for me it was time to move on and start the next chapter. And I believe that whatever I do in the next phase, I'm going to put the same amount of work ethic that I've put my whole entire life into, being a professional soccer player. So I'm super excited for the next chapter. And I hope that I can be as successful as I was in my playing career.
No doubt, man. You're going to be successful in whatever you put your mind to. I have no doubt about that. We'll talk about what's next here in a bit. I want to ask you about that big injury because I was the guy that had the fortunate, I was the one that broke the news that you were coming back and that you were going to be in the squad that day. And I remember you getting hurt. And I remember seeing it and my heart dropped in the bottom of my shoe. And I know how hard you worked to get back. When you were able to finally come back after that Achilles injury, I mean, we talked about the surgery. I mean, we talked throughout the entire process. But when you finally were able to get back out there, I mean, what was that feeling like, knowing that you put all that work into recovery, and a lot of people didn't know that they were going to see you that season?
Yeah, I mean that was amazing. I think for me it was one of the most memorable moments of my career. The Achilles injury was something really, really tough. It was a very tough injury, and it was my knock on wood. It was only my only surgery in my
Mm-hmm.
career, and to be fair, it was a tough one. It was a grind. It was really, really tough to come back, and I didn't have a day off at all, those 9 months. And to come back that year and the standing ovation that I got, it was something that I'm never going to forget. One of the best memories I have in my playing career was coming back from that injury and having that moment when I got subbed back on. And yeah, it was an incredible feeling. I still look back at that picture that I have. I have it framed in my house. So it's one of those great memories that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. And it's a story, and it's one of those where I'm resilient, I'm fighting back, and I was able to come through and make it back on the pitch.
Yeah, and that's one of those things like you show your kids one day, right? Like you go through these things and it doesn't work out, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, you can battle all the way back when it doesn't seem like there's bright days ahead. Take us through the MVP season, brother, because I do my thing every single year where at the end of the season or the end of the calendar year, I do my top 20 sports stars of Tampa Bay. And it's players, it's coaches, it's front office members. And I've been doing it about 7-8 years now. And the only member of the Rowdies to make it in the last 7 years was you, which was incredible, man. It was incredible. And your MVP season, just whatever you did on the pitch, man, assists, goals, it's just what was flowing for you? What was working for you so good that season that it just seemed like whatever you did, every time you stepped on the pitch, something good was happening?
Yeah, I mean, that year was incredible. At the time, I think it was one of those where you're just going through, I wouldn't say going through the motions, but you're taking it day by day and making sure that I am prepared to perform on the weekend. And I remember with Neil Collins, it was one of those where, like, if I don't perform, I'm going to be benched. So I had to make sure that I was on my A game every single day. I got switched to a position that I really enjoyed playing when I was in Philly or I was in college, attacking midfield, and I wanted to keep that spot. And every game, I managed to do something good, score a goal or an assist, or sometimes 2 goals or 2 assists. So it was an incredible, incredible season. Looking back at it and looking at some of the highlights, it was just like, wow, that was a good goal. That was a nice assist. And at the time, you probably couldn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to, just because we were fighting for the top seed at the time. But yeah, looking back at it now, all the memories of that season, it was an incredible year that I wish we were close to winning the Eastern Conference. Obviously, we lost in the overtime and in the playoffs and the finals, but overall, you look back at it and it was just a phenomenal year.
Yeah, unbelievable season. One of the best individual seasons we've seen from any athlete here in the Tampa Bay area. I call you guys the core 4 because you've been there so long. But what has it been like to be able to share these moments with Lewis and with Forrest and with Aaron? I mean, you guys have been there. I mean, some of the longest tenured, professional athletes here in the Tampa Bay area. I know how close you and Lewis are, but just to be with those 4 guys, I mean, how much are you going to miss them and just reminiscing on the memories that you guys were able to have with the Rowdies?
Yeah, it's tough, but I think my point of view is it's a celebration, right? I think we enjoy the memories that we have. We'll never forget them, and those are my brothers for life now, right? I think whenever we see each other, no matter if it's on the football, watching a game of football, or just at an event, I think we'll always have those memories. We'll always have that bond of brotherhood, and we'll be able to say that we achieved something here in Tampa Bay. So I love those guys, and I wish them the best. I hope they keep playing for as long as they can. I know that they still got a lot left in the tank. So I'm just excited to see what they're going to do now.
How great was it to be able to play against your brother this year?
Yeah, it was great. It's so funny. When I told my brothers that I was going to retire, he actually sent me a funny text. He was like, I'm happy that I was able to fulfill a dream of mine, and to score against you and the Rowdies in the penalty kick shootout. And I'm just like, happy I can make that happen.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro. So no, it was good. I mean, it was such another great memory that I'm never gonna forget. Right, to play professional soccer against one of your brothers. It was a great feeling. And yeah, just another memory, like I said, I'll never forget.
What has it been like to be able to? And the one thing that I love about the Rowdies, right there in the corner where the families are always at, and Emily's there with the boys, and how special is that? Because it's not like that everywhere, brother. I'm gonna tell you, like sometimes it's there's a barrier, and there's a little bit of a high. Like the Rowdies with you guys, they're just. It seems like they're so they understand and they incorporate the families into this entire process. I mean, how great is that to be able to share these great moments professionally, but also to have your family right there to be able to share that with you?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It gives you a purpose, right? And I think for me, it's when I step on the field, it was one of those where like if I score, I'm gonna go celebrate my family. Like that is one of my motivations. And it's nice to see that still going to this day. I think Manu scored last game, and he went to go
Mm-hmm.
celebrate with his family. So I think it's super important to have, and that's just the community in the whole Tampa Bay area and the Rowdies, right? I've had met so many good people here. Made so many good relationships like yourself that I'm going to carry for the rest of my life. And I think I've been so lucky to be here for this long, and I'm just going to try to keep building these relationships because there's just so many good people around here.
Yeah, it's a couple of Long Island guys. You know what I mean? We got to come down here and got to make sure we spread the good vibes. All right. So what's next? People want to know: are you going to be involved with the Rowdies? I know you got the Soccer HQ. We've talked about that stuff. So what's next for you? I know a lot more time with the family, but people are going to want to, inquiring minds want to know. Leo, what's next for you?
Yeah. No. So I've been, like I said, very, very lucky and blessed to be here for so long. And I was speaking to leadership here at the Rowdies, and they offered me a position to stay with the club. So right now we don't have the exact title, but I'm super grateful that I will be staying with the Rowdies organization next year and helping them, win on the field as much as I can. And I'm excited because I want to prove to them that I'm going to be just as good as a player, just as good as the players I was, that I'll do it in off the field. So I'm excited to show them that I'm an asset either way. So I just can't wait to start.
Do you have coaching aspirations in the future?
Yeah, I do. I told you before that I used to do
Mm-hmm.
some scouting for the youth national team.
Yep.
Still doing that, and I think I'm going to help try to see if I can translate that into the pros.
Yeah.
But for me, it's really right now just to make sure that I'm an impact on Saturday this
Right.
weekend, and then after that, hopefully we're in the playoffs, and then after that, then I can start really nailing down exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, build up that CV a little bit, and then if you got to go to Manchester, if Ruben Emery doesn't work out, you can help out my United
Yeah,
guys.
I got the last name right.
You got that right, buddy. All right, before I let you roll, man, we got to talk a little New York Knicks because this is how we roll. You excited about? I mean, one and zero after last night. You excited about this year or what?
This is the question I was waiting for. To be honest. Yeah. I mean, good win last night. No, I'm super excited. I think, especially with how the season ended last year and a couple injuries from other teams, and I think the East is wide open, and it's going to be a good year for us Knicks fans. We've had a couple good ones in the last couple of years, but I think this one's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Jalen Brunson, MVP candidate. I think it's deeper. The team's deeper. I think Mike Brown's going to use the bench more, which I'm really excited about.
I mean, yeah, everyone played last night, which is weird.
It was like, wait a second, more than 7 guys are allowed to play in one game? That's crazy.
I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
All right, so last one, Saturday night, Al Lang. Try to take me through what the emotions are going to be like. Can you try to put that into words on what that's going to be like, stepping onto the pitch for the last time, stepping off the pitch for the last time, celebrating your family? Like, do you even think about that kind of stuff before it happens, or do you just kind of, let it happen as it goes?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. A lot of people have asked me that already, and I don't know. I think I'm not sure what to expect. I think I'm at the mindset where let's just go and treat it as a normal game, right? I think we have to win. It's business as usual. If I'm needed, I want to come in and score or impact the game any way that I can. And hopefully we're in the playoffs and I can play more games with the Rowdies. But I'm always at the mindset where, I'm calm, cool, and collective. I'm not going to let the moment get too big, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
No, we'll see what happens. So I couldn't tell you exactly. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited. It's game day. It's going to be game day, so it's going to be fun.
Well, like I said in the beginning of our chat here, man, I'm so grateful for our friendship, and I'm so grateful that you've been able to be not just a great athlete, but also a phenomenal member of our community. Like, you're, the type of person that young kids can look up to and be like, I want to be like that guy. And you've always held yourself with such class and such dignity. You're an inspiration to fathers and husbands out there. And again, shout out to Emily and the kids and
Yeah,
the entire Fernandez family. I know how close you guys are, but you deserve a proper send off, and I know for sure you're going to get one Saturday. So
yeah,
thank you, my friend. I appreciate your time today, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. So I'll
yeah.
see you on Saturday night, my brother. Congratulations on an incredible career, man. I'm so glad that we've been able to share that journey with you, my brother.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I just want to also give a big shout out to all the Rowdies fans. Ralph's Mob, Skyway, all, every single one of them around the world. It's just been a blessing to play for in front of you, score goals, assists, whatever the case is. But hopefully, if you're at the game Saturday, I see you. I give you a hug and we take a picture or whatever the case is. But I'm super excited to see everybody on Saturday.
Gonna be great, man. Congrats again, my brother. Thank you, and I'll see you Saturday night.
Thank you.
You got it, buddy.